Destiny is only yours if you take it early. You got football, high school playoffs starting in the state of Florida. At the same time, basketball is warming up. But let's talk about 2028 sophomore, number 5, Desmond Hollywood Christian, Jr. Got to see Mater Lakes, Ty Bell, my boy Kanye. That boy, he's got that EYBL. But that prolific prep roster is just loaded with 5 stars. OTE, Mr. 6'7" himself, TK versus Fear of God. Caden Dowtry, MVP type of season. The kid is scoring 40 every other day. Show some South Florida basketball some respect. Control your destiny.
Pressure athletics. No pressure.
Welcome back to another episode of Applying Pressure. I'm your host, Chance Garner, aka Pressure. And this week, the title says it all. Control your own destiny. We're watching it play out in real time right now with the Miami Hurricanes. 2 tough losses and their playoff hopes are not in their hands. They have to first finish out strong, that's most important. But they have to wait, they have to hope, and pray that other teams slip. That is a lesson for every young athlete listening. Every rep counts, every day counts, every workout counts, every snap counts. From the tip to the finish. Championships aren't promised, rings aren't promised. Destiny is only yours if you take it early. With that being said, let's get into everything we've seen this weekend. It was a crazy weekend in South Florida sports. It's always an awkward time for me, and I'm glad that I've got help now. We've got multiple cameramen because it used to just be me jumping from game to game, trying to make it all happen. You got football, high school playoffs starting in the state of Florida. At the same time, basketball is warming up. We kicked it off Thursday night with Miami Northwestern, and from there it was a full sprint all the way to Sunday. OTE, Mr. 6'7" himself, TK versus Fear of God. And that matchup had the gym buzzing. Down 20 points in the 4th and still made it a game? Stay tuned. A lot went down. A lot of names were made. A lot of statements were made. And we're going to start it off. Game of the week. Everybody popped out. Plantation versus Dillard. Undefeated Dillard. Before I get into the game, the actual game itself, I just want to talk about something. Your record doesn't matter. Good job, Dillard. You had an undefeated season, great season, but if you're not battle tested, which I don't think they really were throughout the season, I think their toughest game might have been Miramar in the season. Come playoff time, things get real. 6-4 Plantation, they were battle tested. They played American Heritage. They played West Broward. They beat Archbishop McCarthy. They played teams that you can take serious, and I think that's why a lot of people didn't take Dillard serious, although their record, it looks nice, it sounds sweet. And Plantation played Norland, don't forget that. So they were battle tested. If you're not battle tested during the season, take a risk. Like, I want my first game. I want to get whooped my first game. I want to be challenged my first game so we can learn from that, so we can build off that, so we can grow. Plantation was a battle tested team, and they did what they needed to do. Pulled a Malachi Tony, put one of their best players in at quarterback for the last couple weeks, and he made it happen. Zachary Johnson, he was great. But let's talk about 2028 sophomore, number 5, Desmond Hollywood Christian, Jr. This kid had all 3 touchdowns, 21-14 game. He had all 3 touchdowns, and he did it on both sides of the ball. He's just a sophomore, stepped up for his team. 2 receiving touchdowns, and he had a pick 6. And I think he picked it off on like the 2-yard line. It was like a 95, 96, 97 yard, whatever it was. He went the whole way. And I think that play kept Dillard from scoring and won the game for Plantation. Big shout out to Plantation, to the coaches for doing what you guys had to do, putting players in the right position, being battle tested, taking on some competitive teams during the season, making sure that when playoff came, you guys were ready. Good job. Shout out to you. And because they won, they move on. And it's a rematch. American Heritage Plantation versus Plantation. This one was great last time. It was a close game. Plantation almost pulled it off. I think they were up early in that game too. It's anybody's ball game. I feel like the field is so wide open this year. There's teams. Everybody has an opportunity. But again, you control your own destiny. What are you going to do this week? How are you recovering? How are you preparing? Are you watching film? What are you putting in your body? You know, kids drop down like flies in high school football due to cramps. You know why you get a cramp? Because you're not putting the right minerals and nutrients in your body. Do you see professionals on the ground? Do you see kids in college catching cramps? You have to take this serious. If you want the end goal to be what everybody else wants, you have to take it seriously. Control your own destiny. What we got next, Jaime? I guess I can speak on this one, Miami Northwestern. Let's just call it what it was. An absolute massacre. 70-0. 70-0. And they had 68. They went for 2 to put icing on the cake. I love that. You know, 70 just looks better than 6'9", right? Like, give me 70 on the board. Let's go for 2. Gump getting the start at quarterback. Neiman out. He will be back. Don't worry. He's still there. But Gump's been here before. He's done this. He's been in that position. He's had to step up before. He had 4 touchdown passes in the first quarter. Everybody got involved. Nick Lanier started off a statement, first play of the game. I knew it was happening. I told the camera people, I said, hey, come over here. Nick's got no safety over him. Of course you're throwing the deep ball to Nick. Oh my gosh. It's coming over here, guys. Arguably one of the best players in South Florida. He's going to get the job done. He's going to pull it in one-on-one every single time. I know Gump was having a lot of fun. Get back to receiver next week. Miami Northwestern, I don't know who's on the list or who they got next. Key West, we've been there, done that. They'll advance. Smooth runnings, cool runnings. They're waiting for Miami Central. All roads lead to that game, that matchup, that rivalry matchup, Bulls and Rockets, and we can't wait. Look, that Miami Northwestern, I mean, it got to a point to where I had to go over to the food stands. I had to go over to the food trucks and I had to go get some chicken at halftime. And I was still able, I actually recorded on my phone. I didn't feel like the game really deserved my camera. So I pulled out the phone and I'm eating chicken wings, and here comes Big 98. Junior, big boy. Everybody eats in this game. Jalen Thanos. I'm gonna call him Thanos. I think maybe he goes by that anyway, but that dude was big. I thought for sure he was like a 5th-year senior. Kid was chugging. Threw a couple kids off of him, got in the end zone. Everybody eats. Let's hop over to Palmetto, Coral Glades, Palmetto. They're ring chasing. My man Gordo pulled up to that game and he texted me. He said, hey, I got the catch of the year. I was like, yeah, all right. Blur! Look at it. Caught it behind his head. Had to get around, get it on his head. Still almost fumbled it, but was able to take it in and pull that one in. Great play. One of the top plays of the year for sure. CJ Miller, Andre Bailey, beautiful ball. Andre's been getting it done every week. Really excited to see the next week matchup against Columbus. Here goes Andre again to Caden Howard. And Palmetto is just absolutely loaded with talent and playmakers. They love to air it out. It's going to be very interesting, this rematch against Columbus and Palmetto. Columbus, just a well-coached. I told you guys, do not sleep on them. Records don't matter. When it comes to this time of year, if you get in, you have a shot. And this team has been there before. You got Palmetto, who likes to air it out. Columbus is going to keep a lot of it on the ground. So we got air versus ground. But I would be very, very concerned if I'm going to play against this Columbus team. Statement win against St. Aloysius. I think a lot of people thought St. Aloysius might have pulled that one out. Again, their record would probably show and tell a story that they're a better team. Columbus just has that leadership. They have good heads on their shoulders. They're going to be prepared. They're going to watch film. They're going to have a game plan for you. And I think it was a 3-point win for Palmetto the last time they played. If you're Palmetto, you got to change it up a little bit. You got to come with something different because Columbus is going to adjust. They're going to make the adjustments. They're going to be tougher to play. You have to be tougher to play. Can't wait for this matchup. It's anybody's game. No pressure. Chaminade Madonna, they just got good news. They will not have to see First Academy this year. They did rule out First Academy. They will not be in the playoffs this year. Chaminade, another easy road, I think. Starting off their first round win against St. John Paul, and it was just easy money. Amari Stevens, check him out. Miami commit, 4-star, punt return. You go this way, I go this way. Reminded me of that movie Rush Hour. Traffic, looking for his chapstick. He's gone, down the sideline. That sideline, whichever one. And why not take a couple kids and drag them in the end zone with you at the end? Same thing here, Tremont Isaac Jr. I thought Tremont Isaac Jr. was a junior. I thought he was a junior senior. Just found out he's a sophomore. This kid, he's built like a grown man. He plays like a grown man. You can put him at any position on the field and he's going to make plays. Seems like every single ball that's been thrown his way, he comes down with it. Here he is right here, catching one again, dragging a couple kids in the end zone himself. A lot of points here, a lot of donuts this week. Round one, no pressure. Final score, 63 to a donut. Norland, they were a team that had to travel. They had to get on the road because, again, their schedule. But being battle tested, you get outside of South Florida and things get a little bit easier. They went to Jensen Beach, not much to see here. 49-14, was that the final score? Not much to see here at all. Miami Norland Archbishop McCarthy played this week again, another rematch, 21-14 the last time they played. I've seen this Archbishop McCarthy play up to a level and I've seen him play down to a level. Again, a team that little wet behind the ears. They really haven't made a lot of playoff noise this last couple years. They have a great team this year and they can make a run. You're going to have to come in with some grit. This Miami Norland team, again, they're battle tested. I think both teams are battle tested, so I'm not saying you guys aren't, but Miami Norland have been to the state ship. They lost in the state ship. They want revenge for that loss. That was probably the worst state championship upset loss I've ever seen. Let's not even talk about it. It's anybody's game. Who wants it more? Last but not least, you know we had to pull up the West Broward. Been following them all year. West Broward, South Plant, another first round matchup. You know it's going to get ugly. And you know Amir Sears is going to show up and play ball. Brandon Mincy, beautiful ball across the middle. He comes down with it. Blursky, TD. Seems like every week it's the same kids for this West Broward team making noise. But one we really don't talk about enough is Daquan Adderley. I think this kid had like 7 touchdowns. Like 2 of them came back, but he just couldn't be stopped. He runs so hard. He's a physical guy, physical back, grown man in the backfield. Dude's got a whole season mix off one game. Daquan Adderley, remember the name. He and his team will be facing off Monarch this week. We'll be in the building for that one. Should be a good matchup. Excited about that. Jabari Brady, can he step up? Can he make some plays? The Missouri commit has all the talent in the world and all the capabilities to make this Monarch team advance next week. It'll be a battle. Who wants it more? Control your destiny. Some other upcoming games that we got excited for. True North, St. Andrews. St. Andrews, I know you guys been wanting me to come check you out. I've been trying to get out there, just hasn't worked. We're going to come see this week. True North, St. Andrews. I've heard that this is going to be a game. I heard True North, you don't have an easy little layup right here. You're going to have to come and do something and show yourself. Miami Edison versus Chaminade. Edison's been such a fun team to watch. And I know I just said a little bit ago that Chaminade's got an easy road ahead of them. This might be actually the toughest game on their upcoming playoff schedule is Miami Edison. Great playmakers, fun team. Miami-Dade County. They're going to make it interesting, but will they have enough? We'll see. I'm moving fast here. I got a plane to catch. And we just have so much to get through. I'm done with football. Let's get into some basketball. I think we've all been waiting for basketball season, some of us. Some people, they've always like, why do you do football and basketball? You should just do flag football and football. I love hoop, and there's so much good talent down here in South Florida. We are not just a football state anymore. Basketball is on the rise, and we're sending kids to the NBA every year. Lottery picks, not just kids, but lottery picks from here in your neighborhood. Show some South Florida basketball some respect. We got to put respect on South Florida basketball. Coaches, programs have been doing a great job with this sport and building it up and bringing in talent. Prolific Prep coming all the way from California. They moved their whole program here to Fort Lauderdale. I wonder why. Because Florida basketball is on the rise. And I asked some coaches earlier in the season, I said, do you think that Prolific Prep, by moving down here to South Florida, that's going to hurt some of the programs with taking some of the program's best kids? And they were like, nah, because they don't recruit in Florida. They don't get their players they recruit from the whole nation. Yeah, but now we have some of the nation's best. So of course, already we've seen Drayden McDaniels leaving Calvary going to Prolific. I've seen Big Charlie leaving Sagemont going to Prolific. There's a couple other kids too that went over to that program. And they are for sure making noise and coming to disrupt South Florida basketball. The #1 team, not Mount Verde, not IMG, Prolific Prep, right here in our backyard. And we got to see them live in action. Grind session. Ben, James pulled up on the Alliance boys. They were at Highlands Christian Academy My guys James and Ben running that program now. Excited for them. They got a great young team. But the grind session, applause to you. They brought out Gillian Academy, the old West Oaks. Coach Gilly, he's got his own team now. He took Marcus Ponder. He took them boys over. They're in West Virginia now. And we got to see that matchup. Gillian Academy versus Prolific Prep. It did not disappoint. Just the night before, we watched Gillian Academy. They had a warm-up game against someone. And Marcus Ponder had a triple-double, 17 points, 18 rebounds, 15 blocks. This kid is a monster. Signed to Florida State last week. Love to see that he's staying home. And if you remember, this kid used to be at Miami Norland. And not a lot of people remember that. He another kid from down here, South Florida. He's a monster, absolute monster. They literally call him Baby Shaq, and rightfully so. He controls the paint. He's just a solid beast of energy. But this Prolific Prep and Gillian Academy game was just such a fun game. I don't know if we're going to get a game like that again this year. Drayden McDaniels, got to see my young bucks show up, show out, add a couple big dunks. Nazir Nas Anderson, this kid is a tough guard. Someone told me he was 220 pounds. When I looked at him, he looked like a little UFC fighter. Could play strong safety for the Buffalo Bills. Like, that's how this kid's built. And he just gets in the paint and finishes. Alex Smith, Ohio State commit, dog. MJ Madison, he had to battle it out with Marcus all night long, dog, 4-star. The story of the night, Mr. Bruce Branch, mid-range, wet, dropping everything. He had a 30 ball against his Gillian Academy team. I think Gillian Academy really struggled with him at his position. They really didn't have any wings. But when you got a 6'8", 6'7" wing with a pretty mid-range, bringing the ball up, taking his time, shooting whatever he wants, and nothing's missing, you're in trouble. The game was good in the beginning. A lot of talk back and forth, coaches, players. And I don't think Prolific Prep is one that you really want to kind of work up. Be humble when you play this Prolific team, because they're very humble, well coached. The coach is a great guy, Coach Ryan, but they are the #1 team for a reason. They'll come out, they'll be quiet, they'll play their game. They're not going to talk a whole lot. But if you press the right buttons, you get what you asked for. The game didn't end well. Final score on this one, 75-60. We will definitely be checking out some Prolific Prep. They're here in our backyard. When you get a chance, come see the boys, Fort Lauderdale. Again, I could talk all day here about all the talent that was in that gym at the grind session, but I can show you better than I can tell you. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the top plays from this weekend at the grind session. Next up, we had to pull up to Marcus McGee preseason Sunshine Classic. We had to pull up and check on Marcus. Marcus is always throwing great events. Shout out to Marcus McGee. I know Marcus used to be a hooper down here in South Florida too, so he's not just one of those guys who's in the game and wasn't a part of the game, but like he lived the game, And he does a great job up and down the state of Florida, bringing in top teams. We got to see Mater Lakes, Ty Bell, my boy Kanye. That boy, he's got that EYBL. Ty's tough. He had a 30-point game on Saturday. Got to see teams like Columbus, and you would think, oh, no more Boozer twins. There's no more Richardson brothers. What does Columbus have? Well, they got some more brothers. They got the Gaskin brothers. 5-star Miami commit. Got a freshman, soon to be 5-star, who's contributing on that team. A program that's not going to slow down. Again, another great coaching staff. They lost their head coach. Andrew is now with University of Miami, but I'm sure he's still around. He's still supporting that program and a part of that. They're not going to skip a beat with Coach Milo. They built that program up together, and Columbus is here to stay. They'll be here for a long time. Pembroke Pines Charter, they're always a team to talk to. They're always in the conversation for a state championship. Another great program. They look great this weekend, caught a couple dubs. But again, I can show you better than I can tell you. Let's roll a couple highlights from this weekend at the Marcus McGee Sunshine Preseason Classic. OTE again here at Kaiser West Palm. Fear of God, Caden Dowdry, MVP type of season. The kid is scoring 40 every other day. Can't wait to see them play some local games. That Calvary team is going to be special and fun to watch. They got a 4-star kid they just brought in from Atlanta, Aiden Bolden. Kid is dangerous. Didn't know he had an outside game. He hit a couple shots, but inside is where he really takes it up a notch. They took on Rod Wave Elite, and at both sides, I mean, the gym was packed. Everybody wanted to come see TK, you know? Everybody wanted to come see what he was about, and he is the real deal. The way he came down and just pulled up and how it went into the back of the net, like, it kind of wasn't fair. I didn't know how good this kid was until I seen KJ picking him up full court every single time. He didn't turn the ball over. He's not selfish. He doesn't take horrible shots. They get into a half-court offense. He moves the ball around. It's not ISO ball. It's not overtime ball like how some people project it to be. Fear of God was down damn near 20, I think, at some point, and made this a ball game. They were down 20 in the fourth, or like at the end of the third. Like, it really got away from them really fast, and they were able to pull it together. This team's battle-tested. State championship, overtime last year. Fear of God, Silk McSweeney and them boys. They've got a program that has contributed to the growth of South Florida basketball and why Florida is a basketball state now. Excited to keep the season rolling. Excited to cover some more of Calvary and a lot more Florida high school basketball. Teams like Stranahan, Westminster, Sagemont. We'll be everywhere. This Riviera Prep, I seen they just picked up a 2029 top point guard. We keep bringing in talent. There's a lot to cover. We'll be there. We'll be here. If we need to come see you, let us know. Who do we got to check out this year? Who do you guys want to see? Stay tuned for more Florida high school basketball. Hey, that does it for me. Miami Hurricanes, 41-7 against North Carolina. CJ Bailey, we still want you to come back home, baby. Come on home next year. We would love that. Everybody wants to see that. But take this as a lesson, you young athletes. Control your own destiny. Control your fate. Put in the extra work. No days off. There's no time. You've got no time. Tomorrow is not promised. Want greatness? Chase greatness. Mamba mentality. Go read a Kobe book. Go read a Michael Jordan book. See how the greats do it. Proof is in the pudding. It's no secret to success. It's hard work. Control your own destiny. No pressure.